All right, so I feel halfway normal. I've shaved, got some coffee in me. Wow, kind of a crazy couple of weeks there. But just to give you guys an update, we did it. We got 100 tracks done. High quality tracks, dope, awesome tracks that I'm very proud to be sending along to my contact to a Fox Sports licensing opportunity. So, you know, I'm just very humbled by the amount of work and hustle that my team members basically put into this. And it's a little note and a lesson for all of us to learn basically in this industry that when you promise something, you got to deliver on what you promise. So if I had promised 200 tracks and only showed up with 100, would have looked like an abysmal failure. I mean, it just really wouldn't have reflected well on me, my team, my brand, anything like that. You want to be known, especially in the TV film licensing business, as a consistent professional producer who provides high quality music on time. And if you can add to that whole equation over delivering, like actually giving people more than they, asked for, that's it. I mean, you are going to attract clients like nobody else's business. You're going to have so many people falling over themselves trying to get you on their roster. And in fact, I've heard of many libraries that actually end up try to essentially get producers on salary because they're so reliant and they're so hardworking and they deliver all the time that they don't want that producer going anywhere else. So they make sure the producer doesn't go anywhere else by giving them a salary and signing them to an exclusive deal, obviously, and keeping their music with their library. But you're only going to get offered something like that if that's what you want, by completely over delivering, being on time again, and also holding yourself to high standards. It's kind of a big problem in the music business that a lot of artists kind of delude themselves into thinking that their music is, well, it's good enough, right? I mean, that's a very common belief that's out there. If it's not good enough, don't delude yourself. You know, be honest with your music and your production. If it can be improved, you should improve it now, today, before an opportunity comes along. I was telling my members this morning that for those of them that, you know, they didn't have the strongest productions or the strongest mixes, and they maybe didn't make it onto the 100 tracks, or maybe they only got 1 or 2 on, I said, you know, now you know how fast these opportunities can come at you when you're in this business. I mean, literally, it's like I get a text and, hey, can you get me 100 songs in 2 weeks? I mean, that's kind of crazy. But I said yes because I believed in my members and I had a solid relationship with them, that I know that when they say they're going to deliver something, they will. So you got to be that kind of a person too. And you need to be ready for those kind of opportunities. And being ready means working on your production and your mastering skills right now, today. You need to get that stuff up to par. Go back to the drawing board. I told some of my students that, like, if you keep submitting tracks to me and I keep saying, not quite, it's not really ready, kind of still sounds like a demo, etc., etc., you got to like go back to the drawing board and almost pretend like you don't know anything about producing music. Zero out all your faders, zero out all your plugins, and try everything brand new, because you guys know the definition of insanity, right? It's trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you're getting the same result, which is rejections, you're not getting emails back from libraries, or you're not getting onto whatever, you know, any opportunity that you're being offered, there's something going on there, right? It's not that everybody doesn't see the genius of your music, okay? That's what our temptation is as artists, is to think like, well, they just don't get it. Like, that was a great song. They just don't see the awesomeness of it, right? That's not going to do you or your career any good to have that attitude, okay? It might feel good for a minute to, you know, not accept some real criticism, but when it comes down to, do you really want to do this for a living? If you do, having that mentality basically blocks your productivity and your improvements moving forward, because that belief that your music is already perfect as is and it's just the rest of the world who has it wrong, why would you go improve your music then if you feel that it's all everybody else? It's never you, okay? If you're facing a lot of no's and rejections in this industry, take it as a hint, right? Not everybody's going to give you a straight, honest, direct feedback like I do with my syndicate members. I tell them, this is why your track isn't working for me. You need to go back and work on this and this. Most libraries are not. I don't think any libraries really are going to do that for you. They're just going to say, thanks for your submission, but we're not interested, or they just won't respond, or, you know, you'll never hear back from them. So if you're not seeing that when you approach people with your music, you're getting what you want out of that exchange, that's probably the best hint you got that there's something going on with your production and your mixing, and you got to improve them, right? You just got to do that. If this is that important to you, if making music your full-time job is that important to you, what else you got going on in your life that's more important than that? I mean, ask yourself that. What's really more important? Is watching TV more important than that? Is playing a video game more important than that? You know, not knocking any of these other things you could be doing, but you got to like sort of like, you got to choose your priorities in life. And that's why I put together that new producing, mixing, and mastering course, is because that was one of the biggest weaknesses that I'm noticing with a lot of my subscribers and students and syndicate members, is they have great, you know, ears for melody and rhythm, and they can put together a really great groove or a vibe with the track, but it doesn't have that professional sound. The production quality isn't there, the mixing isn't there, the mastering isn't there. Not for a lot of them, but many of them that I get, you know, sent music to. When you guys send me music, that's one of the main things that I'm hearing, is that they just need to step up their production so that it impresses. Because, you know, like I said, I always tell everybody, I am not the end-all be-all of this business, so I don't want you to think that like I have to impress Jesse and then I'll succeed. Okay, the value that I'm providing with my feedback is, I've been in this business for a long time. I know libraries very well. I know catalogs very well. I know what gets big placements, what doesn't get big placements. I made a lot of the mistakes myself. So my feedback's coming from a place of just, I've been in this industry for a long time, and I know a great licensable track when I hear one. That's really what it comes down to. But, you know, I could probably say with 98% certainty that if I don't think your track is ready for a library, I'm pretty sure a library is going to agree with me, and they're going to say like, nah, not really ready for that. And that's part of the service that I'm providing here, is I'm sort of being that person before you go to submitting your tracks out there in the industry that can give you that valuable feedback that maybe nobody in your life can provide because they're not really musically inclined. They don't have trained ears to know what they should be listening for, or they love you so much that they're not going to tell you anything critical about your music. They're just saying, oh, I like that. It's an awesome one, right? You know, not knocking any of our family members or friends, but that's just what families and friends do, is they just kind of encourage us, sometimes at our own peril, and they just say that everything we're doing is awesome, even though it's not. So getting some of that honest feedback is part of the service that I'm providing here through, you know, YouTube, through my syndicate course, my syndicate group, and the master course, all that good stuff. So anyways, meet deadlines, consistently provide high quality music, and if you have free time now and you don't have an opportunity in front of you, go improve your productions. Go back into the studio, make your tracks hotter, make them slam louder. Listen to a bunch of reference tracks, listen to a bunch of pop tracks that are on the radio, find out what they're doing, how loud are their tracks, what are they doing to make their songs sound so interesting and dynamic, and go do all that kind of stuff and just get to work. Really, it's just about getting to work. All right, I'm gonna go take a nap. I am exhausted. So you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you soon.